All right. No, yo for you today. It's Tyler coming at you with a solo post-game show. 161-1. That is a great prediction. I feel it coming. Tyler coming at you with a solo post-game show today. Pirates lose 6-2. Dropped to 1-1 on the season. Sorry, I'm trying to get all my technical stuff out of the way here. I'm not exactly the producer of this show. Pirates drop today's game 6-2. Rich Hill on the mound takes the loss. Nick Lodolo gets the win for the Reds. Kevin Newman in his return against the Pirates hits a home run. Kenny, we're in the second month of the season. The Pirates are already playing 500 ball. Love the optimism. Rodolfo had a rough day at the plate. Agreed. We'll get to all that. I think where I really want to start today is with the lineup. So interesting. Looking back at last year, I think we saw some not great lineups against left-handed pitching. Interesting things from Derek Shelton today. He does have a lot more options, I would say, this year compared to last year. I think it's pretty obvious. This lineup does have a little bit of length to it. They can turn it over a lot easier than they could last year. So we saw O'Neal Cruz slide down to the 6-hole. Not quite a fan of that, but Nick Lodolo is a nasty lefty. It is what it is. Cabrian Hayes slides up to the leadoff spot. He saw the ball okay today. Couldn't really square much up. Really, the Pirates in general didn't really square much up. Sorry, I'm fighting a cold here as well. Really, they got to Lodolo early, and we saw that pitch count drive up. Just weren't able to do enough damage. Connor Joe comes through with a big RBI there in the first inning. You get to Rodolfo Castro, who, one of the comments in here, Brock brings up Castro had a rough day at the plate. He did, and today should have been his bread and butter. Today's a lefty matchup. Rodolfo mashes the lefties. Wasn't able to get the job done today. Day two is what it is. Him and Ji-Hwan Bae battling at that second base position. Neither of them had a really strong day at the plate. It's going to be interesting watching those two guys. I think we kind of see where the Pirates stand on it right now with Ji-Hwan Bae getting both starts this year, both against the lefty and a righty. Saw him start on opening day. Saw him get to start in center field today over Jack Sawinski. Seems like Ji-Hwan Bae seems to be the guy that they're going to go with going forward. A lot can change. But just not enough happened at the plate today. They got to Nick Lodolo early, and let's be honest here, he's a nasty lefty. There's a lot of talk about Hunter Green, rightfully so. The guy throws 102. It is what it is. He's a stud. But Nick Lodolo is a dude. That fastball gets on you quick. And we saw on the first pitch of the game, Cabrian Hayes was ducking out of the box on an outer third fastball. It's a tough matchup. They did get to him early. Just not enough timely hits for him. I do like what I saw out of the Pirates at the plate in general. We're seeing a lot more professional at bats, I feel like. And of course, it's not a high bar compared to last year. And I don't want to keep bringing up last year, but it's really the bar we have to compare it to. There's a lot more professional at bats in this lineup. 1 through, I'd say 8, really can put together at least something that looks like a real major league at bat. And I think we saw a good bit of that today from them. Um, let's just start at the top here. We'll go through some of what happened here with the hitting, and then we'll work through the game. I'm not typically your solo guy, so we're just winging this. Cabrian Hayes leads off today. Interested to see if we get Cabrian Hayes in the leadoff role this year against left-handed pitching. There's a lot that we liked out of Cabrian in spring training. It's been 2 games. We haven't seen him really pull the ball. He did hit a ball really hard today, opposite field, which is his bread and butter. It's what he's going to do. Interested to see if he's going to stay in that leadoff role against lefties. I wouldn't be surprised. Then you slide down it. Brock doesn't like Hayes leading off. I mean, I get that. I prefer him sliding down in the lineup as well, but against the lefty, I'm not really going to complain about it, at least this early in the year. Then you got Brian Reynolds sliding into that 2-hole. You're just going to get professional at-bats out of him every day. Andrew McCutchen, I did want to touch on him a little bit here. I think McCutchen's going to be a bit interesting watching here going forward. I feel like these first 2 games, especially 2 days ago on opening day, we saw Kutch really see the ball well. And I think we've seen a lot of that in these 2 games. We haven't really got a chance to see if that bat speed is still there. I think we saw him barrel a few balls up, just missed a few today, and that it was off a lefty, which he tends to mash in his career. But we did see him start to barrel some things up today. But I'm really interested to see, as the year goes on, are we going to see McCutchen still able to turn on that fastball in the dog days of June and July and August? Is that bat speed still going to be there for him? Because every time out, we're still getting the guy that has a great eye at the plate. He's going to work a count. And we're going to end up probably in a 2-strike, 3-ball count, 2-2. He's a good veteran presence there in that 3-hole. I'm interested also to see how long he keeps him in that 3-hole. We'll see about that. But I'm just going to be a little bit curious here to see how that bat speed plays a little bit later in the year when we start to see that higher velocity. But today, no complaints about him. Going out, good to see Carlos Santana after him. We saw what we probably hoped to see out of him when the Pirates signed him. A guy that's just going to go up there, do his job, took the ball the other way against a really good starting pitcher. Just really not much more to add on him. He's just a good veteran presence to have. No complaints about him in that cleanup spot today. The other part of Carlos Santana that I'm curious to see here, though, is where your G-Man choice fits on this roster. Because we've now seen the Pirates face both a lefty and a righty. 2 games in, Choi only has a pinch hit opportunity. Is he working back from the injury? I think that's something that you can argue here. Not quite sure where that fit is with him, but that's probably a NS9 Live type of topic for us. Just something I was wondering today. Where does G-Man Choi really fit here? We're seeing Kutch really take that DH role, which I think a lot of people assumed maybe we'd get a little more right field action out of him. So far, we haven't seen that. Kutch is kind of, I'm assuming, locking down that DH spot, at least early in the year here, it looks like. And Santana, a switch hitter. I don't really know if that's going to be much of a platoon. Anthony here brings up that Choi's a casualty of Kutch's elbow. I think Choi's also a casualty of his own elbow here. Missing a lot of spring. Didn't really get many at bats. Could be a little bit of both, Anthony. I don't know. But he did get a pinch hit opportunity there in the 9th inning. Struck the ball hard. It is what it is. But back to Choi here. Just real quick to wrap him up. I can't really complain about the Pirates having a G-Man Choi on the bench as a backup first baseman after what we've seen out of first base for how many years here. And Anthony also does bring up a good point here that Choi will get his opportunities. There's going to be guys that need days off. It's going to happen. It's just, I think I expected wrongly that we would get more G-Man Choi. But we haven't to this point. So interested just to see where the first base battle or DH battle, how these at-bats are really going to play out here. Just something to keep an eye on. And then real quick, just to touch on O'Neal Cruz. Lefty on the mound, a really tough lefty. And they did not give O'Neal Cruz much to hit today. Everything was out in the way, breaking ball out in the way. We listened to Bob Walk a lot today talk about how last year in July, O'Neal Cruz would have been swinging at those pitches. We've seen a good bit of growth out of the guy. His patience at the plate, and we have talked about it in spring training, how we were impressed by the diminishing strikeouts, which slightly returned there later in spring. We're starting to see a lot more frequently. We are seeing professional at bats out of O'Neal Cruz. That's what will take him to the next level. Being able to go up there and not look like not to pick on the guy because he had a rough day. G1 Bay today, left on left. He had a very rough day. Go back July of last year. O'Neal Cruz looked like that quite a bit against lefties. We saw a lot better at bats out of him today. A lot more professional at bats against a really tough lefty. Hitting in a spot that really didn't offer him much protection. I know early on he got on with some runners on, but behind him, Castro and Bay, it's not exactly murder's row. We've seen a lot of his success come out of that leadoff position. And in the 6-hole today, we didn't see a different approach from O'Neal Cruz that I think maybe we would have seen last year in July. Very happy with where he's at right now. Not to mention it. Just see, Anthony brings up Cruz smiling more. He doesn't know if Cruz is smiling more because they told him to for public perception or if he's having more fun, but it's encouraging. It's a great point. We saw him get a swinging bunt early. Kind of a half swing RBI. And we can get down the sabermetric rabbit hole about whether hitting with runners in scoring position is just something that will find its level for every batter, or people that are old heads that, like myself, that believe that there actually is something to this. The guy just knows how to get the job done with runners in scoring position. We saw it again today. Battles with 2 strikes. We get a little half swing. He gets it to dribble through with no shift, which good to see that work in his favor this year. Just really good stuff from O'Neal Cruz. Old Jim Rosati wants me to shoot him an invite. Does he not think I can handle a solo show here? Jim was at the game today. Now he's making me do double duty here, send him an invite, do this, do that. What do I look like? Do I look like Donardo? Gotta do everything around here. I'll tell you what. I gotta figure out how to spell Northside Notch. We're getting there, I promise. Give me 1 second. Good grief. Anyhow, we'll just continue down the list here of the lineup today. A lot of people in the mentions here talking about Rodolfo Castro. Really, really rough day at the plate for Rodolfo. Talked about him a bit earlier and how left-handed pitching should really be his bread and butter. Today we didn't see it from him. Really bad at bats from Rodolfo, and let's be honest here, that's what you're going to get out of Rodolfo Castro. I think maybe last year had us in a bit of fool's gold with him. Some thought that possibly he could lock down second base and we were going to have a fun middle infield that was going to hit 60 home runs combined, 50 home runs combined between the two of them. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I don't think we're going to get that. Rodolfo is probably a utility guy. He's a fine utility guy. I could be wrong in all this. I know it's early in the year. Jim's in a car. Let's see what he has to say. Jim, how are you, buddy?
What's up, Tyler?
Just carrying North Shore 9 brand.
Yeah, no, hey, good job. I just figured I'd hop in here.
Sure, you were at the game. Tell me what it was like. How was that wind?
So where I was sitting, I couldn't really feel the wind at all, but the wind was definitely carrying out pretty much the entire time. It probably helped Jonathan India's homer a little bit. Kevin Newman's homer was a bomb.
Yeah,
I think that was out of most places, but yeah. How about Kevin Newman homering in his first at bat? You could have called that though. I feel like.
Well, I mean, why do you go to games, Jim?
I don't know. I'm cursed.
Brock blames you for today's loss.
You know what? I blame myself too.
We all knew it was going to happen.
Hey, have we talked about Rich Hill though?
I have not gotten that far yet. I'm still on Rodolfo Castro here. What are you seeing out of Rude? He looked bad. He looked really bad. But did he look as bad as G1 Bay?
Yeah, no, he didn't look good today, which they both look bad. Castro, too, a little out of the ordinary. Typically pretty good.
Jim's got like terrible reception.
Left-handed pitchers, but
I'm just going to let Jim talk like we can actually hear him.
A good pitcher. Got to give him some credit. He went out there, he threw a lot of pitches today. Yeah,
nope. Thought we had him, then he left. There he goes. Well, that was some just like tantalizing talk show by Jim Rosati there. I think I might have understood 3 words he said. Anyhow, Rodolfo Castro struggled today. G1 Bay looked really bad against the lefty today. One of those guys has to step up and take that second base position. Jim says sorry. It's okay, Jim. We appreciate your effort. And that pretty much wraps up the Pirates lineup today. 2 runs put together. Probably should have been more, but good professional at bats. Just sometimes it doesn't fall for you. Rich Hill did get started on the mound for the Pirates. Struggled early, just like Odalo. Gave up a first inning home run. Yeah, fourth pitch of the game, gave up a home run to Jonathan India. Early on, I think I had a little concern about Rich Hill there. Not like long-term concern, but how bad this game could get concern. Because he missed a lot up early. We didn't see the curveball really work down. Really, the only thing we saw out of Rich Hill early was the breaking ball, being able to throw that for a strike, and really that was the only way he could throw a strike to that early on. He did settle in. 5 innings, 3 runs. That's probably what you can expect a lot of times out of Rich Hill. You're going to get decent innings. Every now and then he'll look okay. He's going to be in between the 4.50 ERA range. You might get some quality starts out of him. He's 43 years old. He's not a Cy Young candidate. This isn't 2015 Boston Rich Hill that was striking everyone out, or whatever year he was in Oakland. We're not going to get that out of him, but you're going to get competitive innings. He was competitive today, which truthfully is amazing that he was competitive when he throws 85 to 88 miles an hour. It did seem like the velocity was down a tick. I haven't really looked. I'm assuming he was sitting around 87 today. Saw him work from the sidearm, saw him work overhand with that curveball. The curveball he was really able to use as a weapon today, just as a get me over type of pitch. We started to see him spinning in the dirt there later on when he settled in. Today, really, I think is what you can look forward to with Rich Hill. He's gonna keep you in a ball game. He's not gonna kill your bullpen, but he's not really a guy that you're gonna throw out there and expect 7, 8 innings of really good baseball from. He's a professional pitcher. You're gonna get what you get, and it's an improvement over what we've seen. Then onto the bullpen, just to put a tidy little bow on this bad boy. We saw Chase DeYoung come in, guy that really has danced through some raindrops here in his career. Really has kept his job as a Pirate by dancing through raindrops. He got touched by a few of them today. Not a great outing from Chase. Really struggled in that first inning. He was out there, let the game get away from the Pirates, gave up a 3-run home run. Probably not. He's on the bottom end of this bullpen. Not a guy that you're really going to put in high leverage situations. He'll eat some innings for you. Probably one of those fringe guys that's on the block as well as the year goes on. And the bullpen guy that I really just wanted to touch on real quick was Jose Hernandez. Anthony mentions Hernandez was a big plus. This is a team that does not really have lefties in the bullpen. They have two, and one is probably only temporarily here. Hernandez is a Rule 5 guy, a guy that you probably want to hide most of the time. Went out there. We saw 96, 97 from the left side out of the guy. We saw really good command. Gave up a hit to, I believe, Kevin Newman, a little blooper. Really liked what I saw out of that guy. The left side coming with 96, 97. I don't think we really got to see much of the off speed, but I think the command was a bit of an issue or a concern coming through the minor leagues. I believe with the Dodgers, he was walking over 5 per 9 in Double-A or so. I think what we saw out of him was really encouraging. Someone in this bullpen has to step up to be able to take over those mid-level type of relief innings. Bednar, Holderman, Crow are going to be there in the high leverage situations, but someone else needs to be able to pitch in these games where the Pirates are down by 1-2 runs and keep them in a ball game. Encouraging what we saw by Jose Hernandez today. Really like that. Aside from that, I think they want me to pick a player of the game or something. I don't have a picture for it. I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to do. If I had to pick a player of the game, I think I'd have to pick Carlos Santana, maybe. I think he had 2 hits today. Really good at bats from him. So I guess Santana would have to be my pick for player of the game. Not really great choices to choose from here. So I'll just go with Santana. I think nobody really played super poorly aside from Castro and Bay, and nobody really played super well. So I guess I'll just give it to Carlos Santana. If you have any thoughts on who you think you would give it to for the player of the game, go ahead and drop it in the comments. But I think I have to go with Santana just because we saw him start to break out of that shell. He wasn't terrific in spring. Ryan says Newman. Yeah. Piss off, Ryan. But I think that about wraps up today's post-game show. Like, Pirates dropped today 6-2. I gotta check and see what time they play tomorrow. I can't remember if it's one of those weird ones. I believe Vince Velasquez is on the mound. Yeah, tomorrow's a 1:40 game. I just want to make sure my times weren't crazy. Yeah. Vince Velasquez on the mound tomorrow. Pirates are 1-1. 1:40 start. And Graham Ashcraft is on the mound for the Reds to wrap up the series. The old rubber match. All right. So we will probably be live for the postgame again tomorrow. This about wraps up today. Pirates drop it 6-2, drop to 1-1. We will see you tomorrow. Not sure who will be on. Probably not me. I might get fired after this one, but if this is my last show, I love you all. Peace out, Girl Scouts.
Hey, you all. Thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.